If there's one thing Doctor Who's taught us, is that you don't judge something by its cuddly appearance. The Doctors traveled to some of the creepiest places across time, meeting terrifying monsters along the way, such as the Midnight Entity, the Weeping Angels, and of course, the Figure. But there are some monsters in the series that are downright adorable. Today, we're picking 10 of the cutest Doctor Who monsters who could eat your soul, starting with number 10, the Slitheen. The Slitheen look like chubby alien babies from a distance, but make no mistake about their ruthlessness. They first appeared in Series 1 of Doctor Who, after its revival in 2005. When we saw the Slitheen, they looked like they could be from the Men in Black universe. But unlike MIB, the aliens in Doctor Who should not be taken lightly. The Doctor and his companion Rose Tyler first met the Slitheen inside 10 Downing Street. It's revealed that the tall baby-faced aliens need to fit themselves into skin suits to appear human. The most hilarious result, though, is that because their tall bodies are forced into tight spaces, they tend to fart a lot, leading to some hilarious situations. But make no mistake, the Slitheen are a crime family who intend to steal the appearances of high-ranking politicians, including the Prime Minister of the UK. And their plan is simple: start a nuclear war, then sell what's left of Earth for scraps. Our cat wants to do the same thing. Up next is number 9, the Emoji Bots. In episode 2 of season 10, Peter Capaldi's Doctor Who lets his new companion, Bill Potts, pick her final destination for a trip in the TARDIS. They arrive on Gliese 581d, a world colonized by the Earth in the future, and there they meet two kinds of robots, nanobots called Vardy, and their sentient counterparts, the Emoji Bots. Back when Earth was colonizing, the colonizers used Vardy to do their work for them, but humans can't interact with, much less understand, a swarm of nanobots. So that's where the Emoji Bots came in, acting as an interface between the Vardy and the humans. At first glance, the Emoji Bots are cheerful, friendly-looking robots that you just want to hug. That's what they were meant to do for the humans anyway. But turns out, one fatal design flaw made them dangerous killing machines. The Vardy was designed to keep humans happy at all costs, and didn't know how to deal with concepts such as sadness and grief. And if you weren't happy, well, tough luck. The Doctor and Bill saved themselves from their deaths only by resetting the bots and wiping their memories. The reset turned them into totally harmless robots with smiley faces, and that's what audiences love so much about the Emoji Bots, even though it can be unsettling seeing two robot beings smiling at you from the end of a narrow hallway. At number 8, it's Mirka, first seen in Warriors of the Deep, the 21st season of the OG series. The Mirka might look like an adorable, strange-looking aquatic creature you want to have swimming around your pool, but make no mistake, it'll tear your face off if you get close. In 2084, the Earth's divided into two opposing blocks. One of them creates a secret underwater base called Seabase 4, which has nuclear weapons pointed directly at their opponents, and the Fifth Doctor and his companions, Tegan and Vislor, find themselves trapped in it. But things get worse when the Silurians, a race of reptilian humanoids, bring out the Mirka to join the fight. It's got big eyes and swims like a lumbering giant, making it almost too cute. It reminds you of the earlier incarnations of Godzilla, where it looked like it was made of cardboard and bits of tissue. Maybe that's what makes them adorable. Although, if you want to give the Mirka a good pat behind its gills, get ready to be electrocuted to death. Now for number 7, the Yeti. We've all heard of the abominable snowman, or the Yeti in our childhoods, right? An ape-like creature that haunts the Himalayan mountains, and also seen in Monsters, Inc. Well, Pixar's version is a big teddy bear who makes delicious snow cones, but the Doctor Who version is anything but. The Doctor first meets the Yeti in the Himalayas, where the creatures served a formless entity called the Great Intelligence. Now, even though they look like they'd give bone-breaking hugs, they're actually something scarier. Deadly robots with big glowing eyes. That's a huge nope from us. In The Web of Fear, from Series 5 of the OG Doctor Who, the Yeti robots take over the London Underground and cause chaos for the commuters. But honestly, they're better behaved than actual folks we've seen. At number 6, it's Mr. Sweet. In the 7th season of the new Doctor Who, we come across a utopian community called Sweetville, created by a chemist called Mrs. Gillyflower and someone called Mr. Sweet. But it turns out that Mr. Sweet's actually a tiny red leech attached to Mrs. Gillyflower's chest, using her body as sustenance. It needs salt to survive and is able to make a deadly poison as a self-defense mechanism. While that does sound horrifying, it's honestly difficult also find the little thing all that terrifying. Mr. Sweet's small, has big eyes, and tiny baby arms. You just want to pat the thing on its forehead and give it some milk. Besides, you can't really blame it for its symbiotic nature. It just wants to survive, rather than take on the world. By contrast, Mrs. Gillyflower, a human being, is far worse for the planet than 1,000 Mr. Sweets. Coming in at number 5, the Urak. Urak doesn't seem cute at first, but neither did Mike Wazowski, right? The creature was the leader of the Tetraps, giant bats with eyes on the backs of their heads, and an ugly look in their beady little eyes. But Urak, on the other hand, was different and almost handsome. Controlled by an evil Time Lord called Ronnie, he was absolutely devoted to her and her evil agendas. He'd do anything she asked without a second thought, and his loyalty was eventually rewarded when Ronnie's scheme to blow up the planet required his sacrifice. Talk about a one-sided relationship, jeez. Next is number 4, Canine, first seen in The Invisible Enemy. Canine is the name of a bunch of robotic dogs, the first of which was built by Professor Marius in the year 5000. Marius wasn't allowed to take his real dog into space, so he created a replica and gave it immense intelligence. Oh, and not to mention the powerful laser built into its nose. The Doctor has met Canine a bunch of times in his travels, and in our opinion, it's one of the Doctor's greatest companions. The most recent version of Canine lives with the Doctor's friend, Sarah Jane Smith, in Ealing, and helps her protect the Earth from a base in her attic. It's one of the cutest creations in the Doctor Who universe, and an example of a robot you don't want to mess with unless you want to be sliced in half by a nose laser. For number 3, it's Catkind. In the first episode of the revival's second season, David Tennant's Doctor comes across a new Earth in the year 5 billion. Obviously, 5 billion years is a big chunk of time, even for our universe. But if you found a new New York being run by cat-like humanoids, you'd do a double take. The Doctor finds himself among the Sisters of Plentitude, who are the same size as humans and look like a better version of the Cats musical. But unlike the harmless musical, the Sisters of Plentitude have a dark secret, growing human clones and infecting them with deadly diseases. They have a sixth sense of responsibility and treat the infected humans as their patients. They might be adorable, but they make us want to keep an eye on our cats, just in case something happens in 5 billion years. In second place, it's Pating. Let's face it, we've all wanted the Pating as a pet ever since we saw it in episode 5 of season 11. They look like Stitch in some ways, including their adorable eyes and pointy ears. But you don't want to be around one for too long. Although they don't eat organic materials, they rip through anything that's inorganic. They might look innocent enough, but they'll eat half your property before you can say TARDIS. In fact, the Pating is so viciously hungry, it could eat an entire fleet of spaceships, leaving the crew stranded in deep space. We're better off with our cats scratching our brand new sofas. And finally, at number 1, the Adipose. What can we say about these adorable little critters? They look like tiny marshmallows with button eyes and a cute smile, but they're far from cute when the truth comes out. In episode 1 of season 4, the Doctor comes across Adipose Industries, a company that claims to have invented a new weight loss pill. It seems too good to be true, and that's exactly what the Doctor's companion, Donna Noble, thought. She visits Stacy Campbell, a woman who bought the pills and ended up losing more than just excess fat. Stacy goes to the bathroom and discovers that an adorable-looking adipose pops out of her fat and smiles up at her. But things get much worse when her whole body dissolves into small adipose babies who literally walk away smiling. Think twice before taking diet pills, folks. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. So if you could domesticate any monster on this list, which would it be? And did we miss any others that should be on the list? Tell us down below. And if you'd like more Doctor Who content in your recommended section, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see ya in the next one.